She used my credit card for a business trip, but I saw the beach pictures on her friend's Instagram. I didn't say anything. I just called the bank and reported the card stolen. Her frantic call from Mexico was the best call I've ever received. I was scrolling through Instagram when I saw it. A photo of my girlfriend on a beach, cocktail in hand, sunset behind her. She looked happy, relaxed. The caption from her friend Taylor read, "Mexico vibes with my girl." Posted 2 hours ago. The problem? Lauren told me she was in Phoenix for a business conference. Said she'd be gone 4 days. Asked to borrow my credit card because hers was maxed out for moving expenses. Promised she'd pay me back when her commission check came through next week that I'd given it to her. Watch her book the trip myself, Fairmont, Phoenix. 4 nights, conference rate, flight leaving yesterday morning. Everything seemed normal, except she wasn't in Phoenix. She was in Mexico, with Taylor, and I had proof that I'm Marcus, 34, working logistics. I've been with Lauren for 2 years. She's 31, supposedly in pharmaceutical sales, or so she says. Her income's always been unpredictable. Some months she's flush, other months she's broke. Always had a reason, always a story that half made sense. About 6 months ago, I started noticing patterns. The constant borrowing, the vague work talk, the fancy dinners and designer stuff that didn't quite match the budget she claimed. But I brushed it off. Told myself relationships require patience, that helping your partner is part of the deal. Turns out, I was wrong. Completely wrong that I took screenshots of Taylor's posts, not just the beach shot. All of them. Lauren by the pool. Lauren at a resort bar. Lauren on a boat. 6 photos total. All clearly Mexico. All posted within the last 3 hours. All tagged Cabo, San Lucas. That's when I did something I'm not proud of, but I'd thought about it for weeks. I opened Lauren's laptop. She'd left it at my place again. She used it here more than at her own apartment. Her password was easy. Birthday plus her cat's name. Same one she used for everything. Her email was already open. I didn't snoop at random. I went straight for what I'd been doubting. Work emails, commission statements, sales reports. Because something about her stories never added up. The company she mentioned, the endless training trips, the so-called conferences. Well, I found hit harder than I expected. Lauren didn't work for any pharmaceutical company. Not anymore. She'd been laid off 8 months ago, 0.8 months. There were termination papers, a severance agreement, all dated back to January. It was now September. 8 months of lies. 8 months of fake business trips, fake paychecks that were always coming next week, fake everything that I kept digging. Found her bank statements. The severance money was gone, spent over spring. Credit cards maxed, overdrafts piling up. She'd been broke for months. Then came the final piece. Travel bookings. Not Phoenix. Never Phoenix. A Cabo San Lucas resort. Booked 3 weeks ago. Round trip for 2. Lauren and Taylor. All inclusive. Charged to my credit card. Same card she'd borrowed for work. I just sat there for a while, staring at the screen. Processing point 2 years. I'd spent 2 years with someone who could lie that easily. Someone who could look me in the eye and build a whole fake life. Borrow money for a business trip that never existed, while she was unemployed the whole time. The anger came later. What hit first was clarity, this cold, sharp understanding. Everything suddenly made sense. Every defensive reaction, every vague answer, every story that didn't line up, all of it that I took photos of everything. The termination papers, the bank statements, the Cabo booking, the emails between her and Taylor, planning the trip, joking about how I'd never catch on, how easy I was, how I believe anything. That part hurt more than the money, that they laughed about me, that I closed the laptop and called my credit card company. Told the rep I needed to report unauthorized charges. She asked what happened that I explained. I'd allowed my girlfriend to book a specific work trip to Phoenix. She'd instead used my card to go on vacation to Mexico without telling me. The rep went quiet for a moment, then said it was a complicated situation. Technically, I had authorized her to use the card, just not for that purpose. She suggested I try resolving it directly first. If that didn't work, I could file a dispute, but I'd need documentation that I had plenty of that I thanked her, told her I'd handle it directly, and asked her to deactivate the card. Not report it stolen, Just turn it off. She did. Said it would take effect immediately. Then I got to work that I didn't yell. Didn't throw her stuff out or change the locks. I called my buddy Derek, who manages properties. Asked if he had any units available. He said he had a small studio open month to month, ready to move in. I said, I'll take it. Mind if I move someone's things in today? He laughed, said sure, gave me the address and access code. For the next 4 hours, I moved every single thing Lauren owned out of my apartment. Every piece of clothing, every toiletry, every book, every random item she'd slowly migrated here over 2 years. I packed everything carefully, labeled the boxes, loaded them into my truck, and moved them in a studio Derek had ready. I set it all up neatly. Left a note on the counter with the address and code. The note said only, your things are at this address. First month's rent is paid. After that, I was done. I left a short note. After this, you're on your own. Don't contact me. Then I changed my locks. All of them. Changed every password, email, bank, everything. Made sure she had zero access to any part of my life. By the time I finished, it was evening. I made dinner, worked out, went to bed early. Slept better than I had in months. The next day, around noon, my phone started ringing. Unknown numbers. I didn't answer. Let them go to voicemail. Lauren's voice came through. Panicked, shaky, confused. The credit card wasn't working. She couldn't pull cash. Couldn't charge anything. What happened? This is an emergency, she said. Call me back. I deleted the voicemails without finishing them. Blocked the number. Then more calls came. Taylor's phone, other numbers I didn't recognize. Blocked them all. Turned off my phone for the rest of the day. When I turned it back on that evening, there was a string of texts from Lauren's mom, asking what was going on, why I wasn't answering, saying Lauren needed help. That I replied once. Told her Lauren could explain everything, that I wasn't involved anymore, that her daughter's things were in a safe place. First month's rent paid. Then I blocked her too. The next morning, I went to work like it was any normal day. Around 10, my office phone rang. Front desk said someone named Lauren was here to see me. I said I wasn't available. The receptionist said Lauren was upset, causing a scene. I told them to call building security if she refused to leave. She left. She tried again at lunch. I saw her waiting in the parking lot near my truck. I turned around, went back inside, asked security to walk me out later. When I finally left, she was gone. That night, she was waiting outside my apartment building. I spotted her from down the street, parked around the corner, called building security. They came down, told her she wasn't a resident and had to leave. She argued. They asked if she wanted them to call the police. She left. Day 4, my lawyer called. Lauren had hired an attorney. They wanted to discuss the situation, meaning the credit card charges and her belongings. I gave them my lawyer's info and said all communication goes through him. Now, an hour later, my lawyer called me back. I explained everything. Sent him screenshots, emails, bank statements, the termination letter, all of it. He said I was fine. I deactivated my own card, which was my right. I'd moved her belongings safely, paid rent, kept nothing. I'd done everything by the book. He said her lawyer was claiming emotional distress, that I'd abandoned her in Mexico without money. He laughed, said she was an adult who lied about where she was going. Not my responsibility. He'd take care of it. That was the last I heard from them. Day 5, an email came from Taylor. Long paragraph, ranting about how I was a terrible person, how I'd humiliated Lauren, stranded her, ruined her vacation, made her borrow money from her parents to get home, called me heartless, cruel, said I must be proud of myself. That I replied with one line. You knew she was lying to me and helped her do it. That makes you complicit. Lose my email address. 3 days later, Lauren showed up at my parents' house. My mom called, said Lauren was on their doorstep crying, begging to talk to me. Mom asked what was going on. I gave her the short version. Unemployed for 8 months, borrowed money under false pretenses, lied about everything. 10 minutes later, Mom called back. Said she'd sent Lauren away. Told her if she came back, they'd call the police. Then she asked if I was okay. I told her I was better than okay. She said she was proud of me, that it couldn't have been easy, but I did the right thing. Hearing that helped more than I expected. 2 weeks passed. A letter arrived at my building's front desk, handwritten envelope. I picked it up, opened it in the lobby, read it standing there, 0.5 pages. Lauren, she apologized. Said she'd made mistakes, lost her job, panicked, didn't know how to tell me. Kept pretending things were fine until the lies got out of control. Said she knew she'd hurt me and wasn't asking for another chance. Just wanted me to know she was sorry and understood why I left. The last page was different. She said she'd gotten a new job, retail management, starting next week. Moving back in with her parents, paying off debts. Said she'd pay me back everything she owed, no matter how long it took. Even if I never spoke to her again, that I almost threw the letter out. But something stopped me. Maybe the tone. It felt real this time, not manipulative, not desperate. I folded it up, put it in my truck's glove box. Didn't reply, but didn't toss it either. 3 weeks later, I ran into someone from her old company at the gym, guy named Brad. We'd met once at a holiday party. He asked how Lauren was doing, if she'd found something new. I said we broke up. He nodded, looked awkward. Said he was sorry to hear that. Then he said something interesting, that she was talented but had made bad choices. Office politics stuff. She'd been warned but didn't take it seriously. Eventually, they had to let her go. I asked what he meant by bad choices. He hesitated before telling me. Said Lauren had been falsifying her sales reports. Not by much, just padding numbers, pretending to hit quotas she hadn't. When the company ran an audit, everything unraveled. She was terminated for cause. No recommendation, no second chance. That explained everything. Why she couldn't find another job in the field. Why she kept the whole thing quiet. It wasn't just unemployment. It was a firing for ethics violations. In an industry built on trust, she was effectively blacklisted. I thanked Brad for being honest. He said he probably shouldn't have told me. I told him it was okay. It only confirmed what I already knew. Lauren had been lying long before she lied to me. A month after the Mexico mess, I started seeing someone new. Angela. She's an accountant, someone I met through a mutual friend. We grabbed coffee first, then dinner, then another dinner after that. She was different from Lauren, calm, thoughtful, the kind of person who listens when you talk. She asked questions, paid for her own meals, and never made a big deal of it. On our third date, she asked about my last relationship, why it ended. I gave her the short version. She nodded, said she understood, then asked if I was really over it. I thought about it and told her honestly, I wasn't sure. The betrayal still stung. The anger had faded, but the distrust lingered. I felt she deserved the truth. Angela appreciated that. Said she'd been through something similar. An ex-boyfriend who'd maxed out her credit cards and left her in debt. She knew what it took to rebuild trust. Told me if I wanted to take things slow, that was fine by her. I did. And she was that we kept seeing each other. No pressure, no games, just two people getting to know each other honestly. 2 months later, I got a letter in the mail. Inside was a check from Lauren. $200. The note said, first payment. More coming. I stared at it for a long time. She actually meant it. She was paying me back. I deposited it, but didn't respond. The next check came 2 weeks later, then another, then another. She'd clearly done the math. It would take about 2 years to repay everything. When I told Angela, she said it was a good sign, that maybe Lauren was trying to make things right. Even if we never spoke again, at least she was taking responsibility. I agreed. The payments kept coming, $200 every 2 weeks, like clockwork. No messages, no apologies, just the checks. By month 4, I'd gotten 8 of them, $1, $600 in total. I never acknowledged them beyond depositing them. That was our unspoken deal. She'd pay me back, and I'd move on. Angela and I are doing well. 6 months in, things feel steady, healthy. She met my parents last month. They loved her. My mom said she had a good feeling about this one, that Angela seemed solid. I thought so too. Sometimes I catch myself wondering if Lauren's doing okay, if she found stability, if she's getting her life back together. Then I remind myself, it's not my problem anymore. She made her choices, and I made mine. Mexico was just the breaking point, not the real problem. The real problem was everything before, the 8 months of lies, the facade, the quiet manipulation. Some people can rebuild trust after something like that. I'm not one of them. When someone lies that deeply, that easily for that long, you believe them. That's who they are. Maybe they can change, but you don't have to wait around to find out. The revenge wasn't freezing her card. That was just self-protection. The real revenge was moving on, building something better, with someone who doesn't need to lie. Someone who sees me as a partner, not a safety net. Lauren lost more than a boyfriend when I walked away. She lost someone who believed in her, supported her, gave her grace when things didn't add up. She won't find that again easily. Not after everything.